so I figured, well, you know, I'm looking at all the new characters. I'll also look at the older characters because I'm sure there's quite a few people who haven't played the tests or played them so little and don't remember, or didn't play the stress test, the most recent one, so they missed all of those characters. So yeah, let's just like jump in.
Peggy 12.
I should have. Okay, they are gonna play. Not in the order I was hoping, though. Oh wait. Yeah, it'll be fine. We can skip. We can skip around. Super Saiyan Goku, roll damage, power up your skills with Kaioken, dominate battles with ultimate power. Passive Violent Rage, if an ally hero near you is KO'd by an enemy, the enemy becomes a target of anger. This allows you to find the target and increase your damage against them. This is my issue with Goku, is you want your teammates to die to get a buff, which is weird. It's in my opinion, a poorly designed passive. I think it'd be better a passive on like a tank. Anyway, Kamehameha. Fire Kamehameha when Kaioken is active. The duration and size of this attack increases and movement speed down is applied to enemies hit. Meteor Hammer. This is arguably Goku's best ability. You would think it would be Kamehameha. Leap into the midst of enemies and smash your fist down. When Kaioken is active, it generates a shockwave. It generates a shockwave will appear, and enemies hit by it will be staggered. It's just a little jump with a stun. It's pretty dang good. Skill 3 Kaioken grants you strike up, all defense up, and movement speed up. Activating this on top of other skills to power them up. The Kaioken's absolutely insane. You get so much speed, so much power. Super attack Genki Dama or the Spirit Bomb. Unleash an orb of amassed spirit energy. Damage increases based on the number of remaining ally heroes. So here's my other issue with Goku, right? When Kaioken is active, an explosion will be triggered, dealing more damage. So Goku gets a buff if someone kills his team. But then his Spirit Bomb does more damage the more team that's alive. It's really weird. So the Spirit Bomb is very strong when your entire team's alive, obviously. And then if you're alone, your comeback potential late game when everyone has big ults is fairly low because your ult sucks. It's kind of weird. And then once you hit level 7, you can transform. One thing I like about the new characters is they don't all just transform on level 7. I think that's awesome that they don't all just transform on 7. So I gotta skip a few videos here.
Peggy 12.
Oh wait, hold on. I can jump in the playlist to here, and it should work fine.
Peggy 12.
Jumping on to Vegeta. Peggy 12.
I am the strongest in the universe, and I will prove it. I don't want anyone getting in my way. Do you understand?
Probably the best character in the first test, in like the beta forever ago.
One Super Vegeta's big attack.
He was definitely nerfed a bit when we got to the beta. Or when we got to the network test. Super Saiyan Vegeta, he's a tank. Raise your resistance every time you land your skills. Forcibly move your enemies, tossing them around the battlefield. Yeah. Prince's Pride. Gain a reduced cooldown effect when your HP is below a certain percentage. Skill 1, Consecutive Energy Blast. Fire multiple energy blasts. Recover armor when you hit enemies. When the skill's at level 3 super, it will cause an explosion that consumes nearby enemies. You can move and change direction while firing. Pretty solid ability. Photon Bomber. Fire an energy blast and cause an explosion. Enemies are forcibly moved towards the center of that explosion. Energy blasts from the rush attack will be destroyed if hit by an explosion. I actually don't remember that, but this is very good. You can combo it with so many other characters' ultimates and abilities. Kind of insane. Explosion wave, cause an explosion centered around yourself, forcibly move enemies away when it hits, and recover your armor. Yeah, Vegeta has like a ton of peel in his kit. He's like actually a really good like support tank. Super attack, big bang attack, fire an energy blast that causes a massive explosion, recovers your armor when it hits an enemy. This is the only thing I'm not super big on Vegeta is his ultimate. And then transform at level 7, raises base HP, armor, and all attack power. And there you go. There you have Vegeta. I don't think Vegeta is like the most interesting character in the game, but I think he does well for his role and is well designed for the role he's in, which makes me like a little more inclined to say he's like well designed. I don't know. I have to think of where I'm gonna put him in my tier list and stuff.
Find out what it's like to fight a real Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan Trunks.
I'm not talking about Goku.
One of my goats, dude. I've yet to play as him.
I'll sacrifice everything to change it. Nowhere to run. I'll finish you. Even if I'm the last warrior in existence, I'll never stop fighting. I will
I'm so excited for this game.
Be destroyed again.
Super Saiyan Trunks Teen, roll damage. Activate your skills repeatedly with overcharge, dominate your enemies with mobility and rapid firepower. Skills on cooldown. It can be reactivated immediately upon defeating or assisting an ally in defeating enemy god, an enemy, god of destruction, or boss. So Trunks is great at chaining kills together. He's really great at like cherry picking a kill and then re-engaging in the team fight. Skill on burst slash, unleash a powerful slash, damages further increase against enemies whose HP is below a certain percentage. I wish we got numbers, you know, that'd be nice. Skill 2, Vanish Strike, warp to the target location, perform a slashing attack with your sword, can warp past walls. Skill 3, Burning Attack, fire an energy blast, explodes at the point of impact and generates smoke. Super attack, Shining Slash, an attack that combines a slash and a shockwave. Gain movement speed up afterwards, can change direction while attacking. And then at level 7 can transform, raise base HP and all attack power. He's pretty simple, like pretty standard assassin. The resetting is pretty cool. I am a fan of the resetting.
Peggy 12.
I'm my father's son. I have to finish what he started. Leave it to me.
Going back to Trunks, I think he was pretty bad in the in the stress test, if I'm not mistaken. The stress test being the most recent time I got to play the game. If I'm not mistaken, he was pretty bad. But yeah, he's cool. Pretty simple in design, but like I said, his coolness really revolves around the resetting. Alright, Gohan, Son Gohan Kid. Unfortunate that we don't have like Ultimate Gohan or Beast Gohan. Dude, Beast could cook. Holy. Roll technical power up by sticking close to an ally hero. Unlock the potential to let loose a devastating attack. So this guy really is like a pocket support. Think like sort of like Yumi from League of Legends or Aphrodite from Smite, where you are like actually linking to an ally. Passive friendship boost. Stay near an ally hero for a certain amount of time to gain all defense up and apply all attack up to the ally hero. This is super good. This is so good. In the beta, so the first test we did, Gohan was very, very good. In the stress test, no one was playing him, so I think he was bad. I think that was the general consensus, was that he was bad. But I'm also not convinced. I think this is a skill issue and people not actually playing the character correctly. I assume, because I have a hard time believing this character fell off this hard. This is good. This is so good. You are a tank that can just get in the way, and if you have like a backline, I don't know why they're playing double tech. If you have a backline that can like, I think Gohan works really well with Piccolo or Majub. I don't know what they call him in this game. Great. The ADC like characters, like the kind of range damage dealers, I'll refer to them forever as ADCs because that's how they kind of are in like other MOBAs. But like the ranged guys that have the ranged rapid fire rush attacks instead of melee. Skill 1, Masenko, unleash an energy blast. Enemies hit by this attack are forcibly moved. So he does have a bit of peel with that attack, kind of pushing people away. Masenkyaku, I actually have never read this move, and I've never heard this in my life. Rush forward and unleash a roundhouse kick. Charging this attack will increase its range of damage, and when fully charged, it will stagger enemies on hit. When not fully charged, it applies no skills to enemies on hit. No skills, if you're familiar with MOBA terms, is a silence. They just can't use their abilities. Stagger is a stun. And another great peel move. It does take a bit long to full charge. The full charge is more so if you and your ally are out of position, like if your ally's out of position and you need to close distance to peel for them, or if you're chasing a kill. Otherwise, you're probably just using the silence because the charge will take too long. Skill 3, leave this to me. Choose a single ally hero and warp to them. Apply energy defense up to yourself and the chosen ally hero. After warping, create a barrier centered around yourself. Within the barrier, you and the ally hero additionally gain energy defense up, and enemies are affected with energy defense down. Yeah, if your teammate's about to get hit by a super attack, great. Super attack 1, exploding rage. Unleash energy around yourself. Apply strike attack up to all ally heroes within the AoE for a limited time. Gain strike defense up and increase the number of your rush attacks. Super attack 2, shattering beam, can be used while exploding rage is active. Charge forward and perform a kick followed by causing a large energy explosion on the spot. Enemies hit by the initial kick will be staggered / stunned. And there you go. I think Gohan is really well done. I think he's a well-designed character. Not my playstyle. I really don't like the linking characters, but I have to give a lot of credit where credit's due. I think Gohan's a great character, and if I'm playing DPS, I would love to have a Gohan with me. I think the character is super underrated.
Peggy 12.
A nice little spot.
Bojack.
It belongs to me.
I don't think I played Bojack either.
I look forward to killing you all personally. Try dodging this. You're finished. Nothing will survive. No matter how advanced you are, you'll never match up to us.
Alright, full power Bojack, roll damage. A hero specializing in group tactics who dominates the battlefield with AoE energy attacks and explosives. Passive Galactic Assassin. If a rush attack is used against an enemy hero damaged by your skills, your subordinates will perform a follow-up attack. Skill 1, Galactic Buster. Fire 2 energy blasts that explode on impact. Very basic. Skill 2, Cosmic Bloom. Scatter energy blasts that will explode when hit by an enemy attack or an energy attack from an enemy hero or ally hero, or after a set amount of time passes, can move and change direction while using this skill. You basically just set a minefield. It does work pretty well with Vegeta. Because he can kind of like pull enemies like into the minefield pretty much, and he'll also proc them. Psycho Thread. Call upon your subordinates and send out threads of energy, applies movement speed down, and damages all enemies within the AoE. Subordinates will retreat if damaged, but their numbers will increase according to the level of the skill. And after dealing continuous damage, additional explosions will occur based on the number of subordinates remaining. Pretty cool attack. The slow is nice. Super attack. Giga Grand Smasher. Call upon your subordinates to fire 5 energy blasts. After a set amount of time, the energy blast will converge in the center. This is a brutal attack. This thing destroys. Transform. Follow-up attacks on subordinates during Galactic Assassin will deal enhanced damage. When does he transform? I actually don't know, and they didn't say for some reason. Okay. I guess, dude.
Peggy 12.
What do we got next? Like Baby or Khalifa, probably? Khalifa, okay.
Fine by me. My time to shine. I've got you pegged.
Sorry, she's pegging?
Hell yeah. Take that. Come on, shape up. Out of my sight. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Let's finish it. Crush cannon. Did you see that? That's my power.
Alright, Super Saiyan 2 Khalifa. She is tank roll. Any and all opponents can bring it on, provoke enemies to protect your allies, and boost your own damage. Khalifa's interesting. Passive bring it on, enemies you have provoked will deal less damage to. Ability 1, Storm Kick. Attack with triple roundhouse kick, applies provoke to all enemies you hit. If the attack hits at close range, the duration of provoked will be extended. Can move and change aim direction while using this skill. This ability is kind of really good. It's a big AoE, and being able to move in it is really nice. Blaze Dive, fire an explosive energy blast, perform a follow-up attack to enemy heroes on hit. Provoke enemy hero will take additional damage. Energy Release. I will say, actually, before I jump to this, the amount of time I've played this character so few times, it is very easy to jump into a bad situation with this ability. Energy Release. Release a field of energy around you, blocks enemy energy attacks and prevents them from approaching. Applies movement speed up to stealth after activation. Super attack, Crush Cannon. Release a large amount of energy, applying provoke to all enemies hit. Can move and change direction while using this skill. Khalifa is very much so a raid boss. She can transform at level 7, gains damage reduction of the passive bring it on, so it's additional damage reduction. She doesn't gain any stats with transforming, it's just the better passive. She is pretty basic. She is fun though, but yeah, just full raid boss mentality.
If you're looking for a fight, that's fine by me.
Yeah, Android 18. Wait, Android 18. Are we missing some of the characters? Nope, okay. They're still there. Interesting.
I'm not here to be a good sport.
Where'd that work going to an old character?
I'm just here to win and survive. So, who's next?
Android 18, damage. Damage roll. Assault Rush will increase the damage you do against targeted enemies. Wipe out the enemy team with carefully planned attacks. Passive Assault Rush. Assault Rush will be applied to an enemy hero for a set time after attacking them 4 times in a row, increasing your damage against them. Kienzan. Unleash an energy disc or destructo disc. The less HP the enemy has, the more damage it does. It will pursue an enemy hero if you successfully attack them right before unleashing this skill. Lightning Step. Unleash a charging kick. Applies no skill to an enemy hero on hit. The more stacks of Assault Rush applied to the target, the greater the damage. Very potent, by the way. This character does so much damage so fast, and the fact that she can silence you, brutal, dude. Accelerate Dash. Perform a lunging attack. If the attack hits an enemy, it can be used again immediately. The number of times it can be reused depends on the level of the skill. This character is gross. She looks super simple, and she sort of is. You do have to be... She is kind of a skill test character. I see a lot of people... I've seen a lot of people not do well at her. But if you know how to play her, which isn't the hardest thing in the world, it's one of those things where it's like... It's kind of the... A lot of assassins are this way, where if you don't know how to play assassins suck. That's kind of 18. But she's super scary. I kind of hope she gets nerfed. Heartbreaker. Unleash a powerful punch that creates a shockwave and explosion on hit. This attack deals additional damage to enemies affected with Assault Rush. Applies staggered enemy heroes hit. Defeating enemy heroes or assisting ally heroes reduces the cooldown. Very strong, very quick super attack. Like, Android 18 is all about getting in there and getting the job done and being like, aight, deuces. I think she's a well-designed assassin. I just think she might be a bit too good. Alright, jumping into Majin Buu. Oh, this video's gonna be longer than I thought, holy. I didn't realize I've been going for 24 minutes. Majin Buu, good. Roll, technical, concept. Heal the HP of yourself and your allies. Use Candy Ray to turn enemy heroes into candy and eat them up. Yum, yum, yum. Passive, Majin Menace. This character's frustrating, by the way. Gain stock when healing your self or allied heroes, or when you apply debuffs to enemy heroes. Rush attacks consume stocks for damage boost. Okay, I did read this. Okay, I was like, for some reason I didn't think I read his whole thing. Skill 1, Strangle Gum. Throw an ensnaring gum, applies all attack down and movement speed down to enemies, and also causes their hitbox to expand. Yeah, by the way, yeah, they're just a huge hitbox now. Great. You ain't dodging a damn thing. Hello, Rue. Say hi. Healing Ray. Heal the HP of yourself and your allies. The healing effect increases the closer an ally is and stops if they move too far away. Higher levels of the skill allow you to heal more ally heroes at once. Can move while using this skill. Pretty bog standard heal. It's honestly not the most oppressive heal in the world, I don't recall. Skill 3, ready, go. Attack while moving, applies strike defense up to yourself, applies no skill to enemies you hit, a silence, and forcibly moves them. You can change direction while moving or cancel by using the skill again. This skill being hit by it is very jarring and kind of makes it hard to control. I don't like that it's not a consistent line. It kind of looks like he's just leaving giant turds around. Yeah, Majin Buu's just like a great standard peel support. That can also heal. Super attack, Candy Ray. Fire a beam of light that turns enemy heroes into candy. It creates an AoE that heals the HP of yourself and ally heroes. The more enemy heroes you turn into candy, the greater the healing effect. Yeah. So Majin Buu. Pretty like bog standard support. Very, very strong character. If you're looking to play tech role, I would recommend picking him up as your primary character. He's pretty easy to play and like learn the game with. Yeah.
Peggy 12.
I got pausing. All right, Dabura. Maybe I want to break this up into a different recording session. We'll get Dabura out of the way.
You're mine.
Be gone! Don't think you can escape from me! I'll send you all to hell! Now you realize the difference in our power.
Roll damage concept. Stay close to your enemies with this hero, applying petrification to gain additional firepower. Fill up the petrification gauge and then unleash devastating damage. This character was completely broken in the stress test. See how he is on launch. Passive, Demon's Domain. Fill the petrification gauge of enemy heroes with a certain proximity. When their petrification gauge is full, you can use a rush attack to petrify them, stopping their movement and increasing your damage against them. So this is a unique CC. It's a long form stun that you take more damage from Dabura. It is a cool mechanic and like cool to the character's like lore. There you go. Skill 1, Doom's Ray. Blow up the target enemy. If the attack hits an enemy hero, it fills their petrification gauge. The lower the petrification gauge is, the more petrification will be applied. Also generates an aftershock ahead of you. Activates quicker if used after vanishing step, which is very cool. Is it gonna do it after the vanishing step, or did it do it the first time? No, they don't show it like being faster. That's kind of cringe. Darkness Spear. Throws out spears, applies no vanishing step to the enemy hero. So they hit, gain movement speed up when approaching an enemy hero hit by the skill. I should explain no vanishing step. So basically in Gekishin Squadra, if you're unaware, you have a little snap vanish called vanishing step, where it's basically like an instant little dash. You can use it to like juke abilities or like quickly jump to set up your own abilities. It's on a very short cooldown. Basically, this ability just means you can't do it for a while. Skill 3, Evil Flames. Spit Flames applies movement speed down to enemies hit. Enemy heroes hit will also be afflicted with burning, and the petrification gauge will be filled. Can move and adjust aim while using this skill. His lockdown is just so strong. And when you're petrified, he just one-shots you. Super attack, Evil Blast, unleash a powerful energy blast attack, fills the petrification gauge of enemy heroes hit. And that's Dabura. Very, very scary, very good character. I hope he will be at least slightly nerfed. Yeah, I think he's like well designed for what he is, at least like lore-wise. I just worry about how overpowered he's gonna be. All right, I'm back. We got 7 characters to go, though the cooler trailer appears to be missing, so I'll have to hunt that down. Also, hopefully my mic sounds better now.
All right, come on, I'm ready.
All right, we got Krillin. Very, very strong on the stress test.
100 times solar flare. Did you see that? Marin's gonna be watching. I gotta show off my cool side. It's all over! I'm not a pushover, you know.
Alright, Krillin, roll technical concept, blind enemies and set traps to obstruct them. Debuff your enemies, then finish them with a Kienzan. Jeez. Kienzan, that's how you say it. Destructo Disc. It's interesting that they use, like, what do they call Special Beam Cannon? It's interesting that because they call it Kienzan, and I think there was another case where they called a Japanese name, but maybe I'm thinking of just Kienzan again. But they use like dub names because like his name's supposed to be Curran, right? And cooler would be Kura. Yo, shout out if you're a Dokkan player. Shout out if you're a global Dokkan player that remembers when the cooler names were Kura. Passive Technician. Applying mark to enemies will immediately lower the cooldowns on your skills and super attack. Skill 1, place energy blast. This is a pretty cool ability. Place an energy blast that becomes invisible after a set time. When an enemy hero comes in range, it will explode after a set time. Strength field of view and marked are applied to enemies hit by the explosion. Skill 2, Solar Flare. Unleash powerful light, applies flash, marking, and all attack down to enemies facing Krillin. By the way, it's not, the debuff isn't like as long for the debuff isn't based on whether you're consistently looking at Krillin. Like, now that Goku has the debuffs, he could turn around and he would still have them. It's when the Solar Flare hits, if he's looking at Krillin, he'll get the debuffs. Flash, by the way, is blind in MOBA turns. Scattering Energy Wave. Fire controllable energy blast. When this hits an enemy hero or object, or when the skill is used again, it will disperse and drop, releasing smoke. The energy blast will pursue any marked enemies caught in the area. If you are good at Krillin, you can do so much with this character. This character is a very high damage support. Super attack Kienzan. Unleash an energy disc. It can penetrate enemy heroes and walls. If the enemy hero is marked, the attack will pursue them. If an enemy hero with over 3 debuffs comes in contact with the center of the disc, they will receive extra damage. By the way, like, the debuffs don't have to be applied by Krillin, so you could use, like, I'm trying to think, like, what would be a good, like, combo, like Krillin Deborah. Yeah, Krillin Deborah would be really good. I mean, Bojack has the really easy to guarantee slow. I mean, for, like, team fights, Krillin Cell, I suppose. But yeah. And that's Krillin. Very, very potent support. Really, Krillin's nice. He works kind of with anyone. I don't think Krillin has any weak points in his game, so you're not worried about like having a super bad lane, because in this game, early lane is pretty relevant. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, at me, edit that out. Yeah, there's no bad partner for Krillin, really. He has no really bad point in the game. That might change the balance, but I mean, his abilities are gonna be the same. So you can really pair him with anyone. He has great synergy with everyone. Yeah, he's just an all-around good support. I don't think you're ever upset locking in Krillin.
Peggy 12.
Goku made me strong. So
Super Oob. That's what Vicky goes by, Super Oob. If you're familiar with MOBA terms, Oob is like an ADC, an attack damage carry, sort of. You can see as like the ranged autos. That's what I would describe these characters as.
I won't lose!
Not exactly the same thing, but you like kind of makes how you play it like a bit more logical to other MOBA players. Alright, Super Oob, roll damage. Make use of Cyclone to power up your rush and super attacks. Keep doing continuous damage and break through the enemy's front line. Passive, Cyclone Stream. Gain Cyclone when you activate certain skills or your super attack. Deplete Cyclone when performing a rush attack and gain additional attack. Cyclone will gradually deplete over time. Skill 1, Rage Barrage. Fire multiple energy blasts that fan out in a target direction. Gains Cyclone on activation and gains additional Cyclone when enemies are hit. Can move while using the skill. Skill 2, Brutal Buster. Generate a shockwave around yourself for a set time. Rush attack speed will increase and the range of rush attack and skill 3 will increase. You will gain the no attack obstruction effect. Yeah, this second skill is pretty rough. Pretty, like, rough for the enemy. Skill 3, Shooting Chaser. After dashing in a certain direction, fire energy blast at the enemies in the area. Gain Cyclone when you hit enemies. Super attack, Cyclone Burst. Expand all your stored Cyclone to unleash a huge energy attack in a certain direction. Damage increase based on Cyclone amount of activation. Gain Cyclone when you hit enemies. Enemies heroes below a certain amount of HP when hit will be afflicted with the Candy status. Candy status being a polymorph. Yeah, Oob is... I haven't personally played Oob, but seeing like higher level people play Oob, like players that clearly knew like how MOBAs work, Oob seemed pretty cool and very potent. I wish I could say more about him, but I really didn't play him. So he's like very like, he is an ADC if you played other MOBAs and know what that term means. Attack damage carry. His rush attacks are a big part of his kit. And now my goat, Zamasu.
I overflow with joy, feasting on my own perfection.
This is what we've been waiting for, chat.
I told you I'm immortal. Vile sinners. My justice will be your end. I will save creation from the scourge of mortal kind.
Alright, Zamasu, roll tank. Concept, body regeneration brings you back even after getting knocked out. Stay on the front line and disrupt the battlefield. Passive, body regeneration. Attack enemy NPCs and bosses through your skills, excluding super attacks, to charge your regeneration gauge. The regeneration gauge will deplete as it heals your base HP. If the gauge is at a certain amount when you're knocked out, you will revive. Okay, this is Zamasu's whole thing. If you want to play as the Zamasu one trick guy, if you want to play Zamasu, this is what you need to know. Zamasu completely unfathomably broken in the beta test, the first ever test we got. In the stress test, he fell off hard, and his win rate was low, and his pick rate fell off a bit. Hey, secret, he was actually still insane. You just don't know how to play Zamasu. In the late game, Zamasu has, like, obviously, like, big AoEs, like everybody. You have to make sure when you're pulling fights, pull fights near NPCs. You have to make sure before you start fights that your gauge is full. You got to be constantly fighting in and around NPCs and like your farm. If you're doing that, you're unkillable. It's so hard to kill you. If you're running, kite people towards camps, even if it's not the fastest route out. If you kite towards a camp and then shoot your beam attack, well, ball attack, I don't know what you want to call it, your key attack, through the camp and the enemy, you're going to get a ton of health. And you're able to extend the chase longer. And just like, you're able to kite around like a madman. Alright, skill 1, Heavenly Arrow. Fire. This is the ability I'm talking about when I said Key Blast or Ball Attack. Fire energy blast in succession. Enemy heroes get hit will be afflicted with movement speed down. You can move and change direction when firing. Skill 2, Divine Rush. Lunge forward and unleash an attack. Enemy heroes hit by the attack will be forcibly moved. This is great for defending your gods. Also great for peel. Skill 3, Fierce God Slicer. Sweep the area around you with a horizontal slash. Continuous damage will be applied to the enemy hit by the attack, or dot slash damage over time, for those of you who know MOBA terms. An energy slash is unleashed along with a sweep, can move while using this skill. Super attack, the Zero Mortal Project. Drop an energy blast down on yourself, gain immune to all. A movement speed down area is created at the point the energy blast impacts, with the effects increasing near the center. So yeah, the closer you are to the center, the more you are slowed. And again, Zamasu is immune to everything when he's using his ult. So you can use the cleanse debuff, so you can use it to, if, like, you know, you're about to get spirit bombed, you can pop Zamasu out and just be like, actually, no, I don't think I am going to be spirit bombed. And here's you are losing all of your HP and getting slowed. Zamasu, much kind of like Khalifa, is not super peel heavy. While he does have some, he's got, you know, the move speed down, but it's kind of hard to use in a peel situation depending on like the angle of the fight. And like his 3 is just completely, there's no peel to it at all. There's no CC, it's just dot. Even like this ult isn't super great for peeling. He is very raid bossy. And if you're good with him, you can kind of get a pretty good start in lane, especially if it's like the rule where your one ability is at super. You can really pressure out a lane early. All right, baby, who I still can't believe is in this game. My chair is all the way down to the street left. All right. Unfortunately, this is another character I didn't play. He was bugged for the days that I played the server test. His possession wasn't working, unfortunately. But when he was working, he was people were saying he was the best character in the stress test, which means he will most certainly be nerfed. Baby, young body, role, tank, concept, use possession on both enemy and ally heroes, stubbornly survive on the front lines by using possession. Passive, possession, enemies. Possess a target enemy hero. When you land a finisher, you can use some of their skills while they are possessed. Possession effect ends when the target respawns or when their HP is depleted. So when you do possess an enemy, by the way, you don't have as much HP as they would, and if you lose that HP, you don't die. Finger Blitz Barrage, unleash an AoE attack in the target direction enemies hit will be forcibly moved, can move while using this skill. Skill 2, Energy Explosion. Unleash a continuous AoE attack is centered around yourself. Gain strike defense up. Apply movement speed down to enemies hit by the attack. Each time the attack hits an enemy hero, cooldown on possession. Allies will decrease. Can move while using this skill. Skill 3, Possession Ally / Backup Fire. Possess a target ally. Apply Steal Life to the possessed ally hero. Your HP will replenish over time, and you can use a Backup Fire to attack enemies. The HP of the possessed ally will recover when backup fire hits an enemy. So you just hop in your teammate and shoot out loads of missiles. Baby, super attack Revenge Blast. Unleash a shockwave centered around yourself. You receive additional HP depending on the number of enemy heroes hit by the attack. If the attack hits an enemy hero, the damage of the skill will increase the next time it is used. Yeah, so Baby was pretty damn strong, like very strong. Again, like arguably the best character in the game. For the stress test, he has like obviously the cool mechanic with the body change, very impressive. He has high sustain, or well, high survivability, high sustain with his heal. He's got peel. He's kind of bloated. So I'm curious to see what they'll do to nerf him, honestly. The only thing I don't love is the possess ally obviously takes you off the map, which could be bad.
Peggy 12.
My power level is 530,000. But to keep things fair, I'll refrain from using all of my power. Do it.
I'm gonna blow you to pieces! Give it your all!
Look, beautiful, isn't it? A rare gem indeed. Zargon, Dodoria, it's time.
So before I jump in here, I'm going to say something about Frieza. In MOBAs, it is pretty common for there to be a turret character or turret characters. Now, there are some things where anytime someone brings up a character that has turrets, the question comes up, are they a turret character or are they a character with turrets? And basically what that means is the character's design centralized around the turret, or is the turret just part of their kit? Frieza is a turret character. They are not a character with a turret. They are a turret character. Frieza's entire thing is deployable characters. So, Frieza, first form, roll technical. I think this character was so unbelievably underrated. Concept, move around the battlefield with your subordinates, Zarbon and Dodoria. Command both of them strategically to dominate the map. Passive, First Form Emperor. Increase movement speed during high speed flight and prevents flight from being interrupted by attack. That is super good. Effect will expire after being hit by an attack, but this effect can be used again after a certain amount of time. Show them Zarbon. Skill 1. Position Zarbon, who will attack enemies in an area with energy blasts, prioritizing targets in the middle of rush attacks. When this energy blast hits an enemy hero, it applies strike defense down. Use the skill again to make Zarbon leave his position. So what's great about deploying, Frieza being able to deploy these characters, is they're great for forcing characters off of gods or away from objectives, like the android or like Android 16 or Jaco or Nappa. Though not very often you would be down at Nappa. Crush them to Dodoria. Position Dodoria, who will attack enemies in an area with lunge attacks, prioritizing targets in the middle of rush attacks. When his lunge attack hits an enemy hero, they are forcibly moved. Use the skill again to make Dodoria leave his position. This is such a frustrating ability to deal with. It's so annoying. Skill 3, Imperial Decree. Grant you and your ally heroes movement speed up and create an area that raises Zarbon and Dodoria's attack speed. If an ally heroes Zarbon or Dodoria are nearby when the skill is activated, the effect will last longer. Skill 3, Imperial Decree. Oh, no, this is sorry, the one I just read. Trolling. Look at that. That's so brutal. Super attack, Supernova. Drop an enormous energy blast. Charging the attack will increase the size of the energy blast, improving range. All enemies of the super attack AoE will be affected with all attack down. Did I miss Frieza's rush attack? Oh, Frieza's rush attack wasn't shown. Were none of the original... Wait, Frieza's not an original character. Why didn't Frieza's rush attack get shown? Did I guess Krillin's didn't either, huh? Okay, there is something to note about Frieza's rush attack. Frieza's rush attack is stronger when Zarbon and Dodoria are there. They add, I don't know if they don't actually add damage numbers. They like periodically shoot. So if you do have like Zarbon and or Dodoria placed, your rush attack does actually do less damage. I don't know why that's not part of this video. Kind of an oversight.
Peggy 12.
Hello. I don't know why I
Sorry to keep
think
you
of like
waiting.
Piccolo in the cell voice.
Bring it on! I'm tired of you and your loud mouth. Hope you're ready. Special beam
When we're talking about characters that are like ADCs, or I guess a mage, Piccolo.
here. Dodge this.
He's kind of like ability-based ADC, honestly.
The best fighters in the cosmos. Doesn't get better than this.
Alright, Piccolo, roll damage. Your rush attacks and skills have tremendous range. Oh, I don't know why I didn't pause. The power of Special Beam Cannon increases the longer you charge the attack. I don't know why that's part of his concept, but sure. Also, yeah, they do call it Special Beam Cannon, not the Makesapo, well, however you say it. Ready for victory. Attacking enemies with a rush will temporarily lower cooldowns of skills. So yeah, he applies negative cooldown reduction, which is cringe. Skill 1, Light Grenade. Fire a powerful energy blast at skill level 2. An explosion will occur at the point of impact. Damage and AoE explosion increases the further away the target is. So you really want to manage like your spacing with Piccolo. When we talk about in MOBAs like position characters, I think Piccolo is like the prime example of like you need to understand positioning and you need to have awareness. Skill 2, Demonic Floating Blast. Fire an energy blast upwards that will drop down onto an approaching enemy. If the skill is used again or the skill effect expires, it will fall to the ground instead. It will explode after falling. Apply movement speed down to enemies hit by the explosion. Kind of like a sort of a trap ability. Skill 3, Magic Whip Fist. Stretch your arms and move instantly to any enemies, ally heroes, or walls that you touch. After moving, your next rush attack will release a powerful energy blast and damage will increase. Special Beam Cannon. A beam of energy that penetrates enemies and walls. Holding down the attack button will expend multiple stocks. The more stocks used, the higher the damage and range. Piccolo works great with Boo, honestly. Having someone that can CC characters, kind of lock them down, really helpful for Piccolo. Vegeta's another fairly solid if you're gonna go with if you're gonna go in bot lane. All right, we already did Super Saiyan Goku. Let me really quickly try to hunt down Cooler. Cooler Gekishin trailer. There we go. And this is the last character we gotta look at.
I'll show you true hell.
I found you! Count of thief!
Yes, time to die. Beg and plead all you like. I offer no forgiveness. All Saiyans must die! Perish along with this planet! Struggle all you want. It's over. I alone am the strongest in the universe!
Alright, Cooler final form. Roll tank. Concept: Imperial Retaliation is your chance to stage a comeback. Your skills will be improved in various ways. Imperial Retaliation. Gain immune to all when activating skills. When an enemy hero lands an attack during immune to all, your next skill will be enhanced. Retaliation status will be enhanced retaliation status. Okay, sorry. While you have retaliation, the next skill used will be enhanced. Skill 1, Destruction Rate. Fire a beam that deals continuous damage. That's it. Skill 2, Death Stopper. Create an AoE around you that applies high pressure and movement speed down. Applies stagger to dashing enemies. If used while regeneration status is active, the duration will be extended. Skill 3, Death Chaser. Perform a lunging attack. If used while retaliation status is active, the enemy will be held and dragged along. Slammed against the ground and movement speed down will be applied. I feel like this should be a stagger. I guess it sort of is in a way. Super Attack. Atomic Supernova. Release a giant energy blast. Enemies are forcibly pulled towards the center of the attack. If retaliation status is active, the range enemies are pulled from will be increased. I'm not super big on Cooler. I don't think Cooler is particularly great either. I wish, because he's a cool character, like, I love Cooler as a character, I wish he was better, you know? But, I mean, so be it. It do be what it do be. All right, so that is all the characters. Let me know what you think. Who do you think of Manian? Are you gonna one trick like me, perhaps? I do have a tier list video. It's like my own, like, how hyped am I for them tier list. It is over right here, and that's all for me. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Bears out. Peace.